whenever you come across this tarot reading, in my mind's eye today, I saw you and someone else. From the connection that you both had, you could be in no contact, you both learned karmic lessons. But the key part of this reading is you both learned two very separate lessons. All right, now for you over here, this is your energy. You learned the lesson of being silent, of not responding. Over here, there's someone who was triggered. They're learning a lesson of triggers. All right. Now, whenever you're watching this, it can be for you. The reading is general and timeless for all zodiac signs. And if you would like a personal tarot reading, a private one-on-one session with me, or to join our Patreon, check out that box below. There are summer tarot readings and astrology readings available. Feel free to go to 144 Blue Rose Temple to check them out. All right. So now I've never done a reading like this before. I was seeing that you had a connection, a relationship of some kind. We don't know what kind of relationship yet. But what I saw is that you both were learning very separate lessons. Now this is your energy here. Silence, frozen, no words, stone wall. So this is you not responding at all. All right, with the silence here. So for some of you, say even over-explaining. This is you of like, you know what? I'm not even over-explaining. I'm not trying to rectify or to mend this at all. That's the lesson that you had to learn. As far as the other person in this dynamic, they were triggered by something that maybe you said, you did, or something here. But the key thing is like it wasn't true or it was a projection. We have the card party, having fun, clubbing, risky and fun with friends. And then we have triggers, where someone might be very triggered by... Now, we have glasses here, right? So maybe for some of you, you even, like, say, drink here and there. It says having fun, clubbing. You could also just be simply a free spirit. It does say fun with friends. Someone is triggered by things like this. We're going to dive deeper into both lessons here. I want to dive into their lesson, and then we'll dive into yours. All right, for the collective here, for all zodiac signs, on your lesson versus their lesson. Now, we'll put this card back, but it says adrenaline, good and bad, a rush of feelings. What do we have for the collective here? What do we have for the collective on you versus them? What is the karmic lesson that they are learning from the collective? Why do we have triggers and risky party? For the karmic lesson that this person is learning from the collective, why do we have triggers, party, having fun, clubbing, risky? Oh. This person reacts quickly. Where we have revenge. But this person learned a lesson through you. Like, you were not the one to do it to. Someone wanted, like, revenge here. Now, we do have revealing the truth, confession, shedding light, charming, graceful, kind-hearted, and needing time. It's like this person realized of like, actually, no, this was a good person. Collective, you were not the one when it came to this person. You were charming, you were graceful, you were kind-hearted. I want to grab one of these cards for the collective on the karmic lesson this person is learning through the collective. Why do we have triggers, party, having fun, revenge? Why do we have triggers, party, having fun, and revenge for this person's karmic lesson when it comes to the collective? It's an inner conflict. Dragons can resonate with you. It wasn't, say, a true conflict. It was an inner conflict. Inner conflict here. So it was a choice, and I will say we do have free will here. Somebody tried to like call justice on you. Someone wanted to get back at you. It says plotting payback, punishing, getting even, revenge. Someone felt as if like, how do I word this? Generosity, receiving, withholding here. This is almost someone that was in the energy of holier than thou. That person's gonna learn a lesson, you know? And they ended up learning a big lesson, and you just didn't respond. There's someone here that felt as if you may have been partying, that you were clubbing, that someone thought that you were taking part in risky behavior. And so they felt as if they did something, you know, that they would, I don't know, like win, you know, like they felt like they were holier than thou in some way, shape, or form is almost what this seems like. You know, say even if this was a romantic partnership or relationship, this is someone who thought that you were doing things that you weren't, kind of thing. But then, you know, this is where it goes too far, and this is where the karma starts to accumulate. This person started to plot a little bit of revenge, retaliation, or payback. They wanted to get even with you. You weren't doing anything, is what I'm seeing in this reading. Okay, authentic purpose, free will, generosity, receiving, withholding. So this is the energy of someone who thinks there's something going on in your life, or they think you're up to no good. Keyword, they think you are up to no good. And they're just like, revenge. Let's see what the revenge is. For the collective here. For this person. For this person's karmic lesson when it comes to the collective. Why do we have the card revenge? For triggers and party risky. Why do we have the card revenge here? You got them. You got them. And here's what I mean by you got them. It's this person's shadow that they gossip too much. Gossip. Make sure you got all the information. And see, this here it goes. Deja vu. You delivered this person karma from something from the past. So this is someone who tried to, like, say, call you out kind of thing. But they may have not, like, called you out, you know, but this is someone who was like, no, I know that person's up to no good. They're not a good person. I bet you they're doing this, this, and this, you know. This person, yeah, they felt as if you were taking part in risky behavior. This person felt as if you had things hiding, really. And that they could, like, even expose you in some way, shape, or form. That's really how this person felt. Because it says triggers. Having fun, clubbing, risky, fun with friends. So this is someone, say, who has, like, say a trigger of alcohol, right? And say, you know, they met you, you had dinner. Say you had an alcohol just bottle near you, or you took, like, one sip, you know, but, like, you didn't. Everybody else is, but you didn't. This is someone who, like, looks at you and, like, you see what you were near. You took one, you know, I don't know. You know, for some of you, it could be that. But the key thing here is someone thought that they had something on you. That's the key thing here. They thought that they had one of your shadows hiding and that they could, like, hey, look. No. There was nothing hiding. Tricky, tricky. Deja vu. This person's done this in the past, and you delivered their karma. Gossip. If something is not true and you react too quickly, you're gossiping, and that's a shadow. That's false information. That's actually harmful. It's like that here. Where this person, you know, you both are learning different karmic lessons, and it's interesting. I've never done a tarot reading like this before. I saw very specifically your karma, their karma. Your karma didn't match what they expected, kind of thing. I saw that you both were learning very different lessons. This is someone, you know, again, who they wanted revenge or retaliation, but with the wrong information. So if you go telling people about things that are not true and that are wrong, you're the karmic one. Deja vu. This person has done this before. With your free will, you can choose to not gossip. With your free will, you can choose to get all the facts before you start speaking. This person didn't do that. So this person is actually learning, like they thought that you were going to learn a lesson. This person is learning a lesson of get all of your facts. Maybe mind your business. I don't know. Let's see. But like definitely get all of your facts. And do not gossip about things that you do not know for sure are not true. Are true or not true. Spreading rumors, petty conversations, making you the fool. Because they think something that has not been confirmed. What gives them the right, 144 as I say this, and there's 41 minutes, so you could be seeing the number 111 or 444. What gives them the right to spread rumors and to do this? So they're actually learning a lesson here. Like you were not what they accused you of. You were not the one here. So let's see. When it comes to your energy. What do we have for the collective's karmic lesson when it comes to this person? Do not fall face up. What do we have for the collective's karmic lesson when it comes to this person? When it comes to this person, what karmic lesson is the collective learning? Why do we have silence, frozen, no words? For the karmic lesson, the collective is learning. You're not chasing toxicity. You refuse to. And so we're going to keep going. Oh, revealing the truth. Look at that. The same cards came out. This is a confirmation where, the let them theory. It's kind of like, well, I'm not engaging with this. Revealing the truth. I'm not chasing. I'm not matching the toxicity. I'm gonna do me. And that's what this reading is saying. For the collective here, what is the karmic lesson that the collective is learning? Why do we have frozen? No words. Chasing toxicity. What karmic lesson is the collective learning? So this person has done this in the past. You've also maybe tried to over-explain, tried to engage with toxicity in the past. It's more of, so interesting. This person felt as if you were toxic. They felt as if they had something on you here. Your karmic lesson is, I'm not chasing toxicity. This person is trying to call out toxicity. Isn't that interesting? Now, what do we have here? What do we have here for the collective? This is the karmic lesson that you are learning when it comes to this person. Why do we have silence, no words, chasing toxicity, and the past for the lesson that the collective is learning? When you know the truth, you don't have to say or do too much. Like, the saying, don't do too much. Don't do too much. When the wise woman, the wise woman or man of Wonderworld, and it does say integrity. Don't step out of your divinity, your integrity, for toxicity. There is someone that feels as if you were hiding things, as if you were a toxic person, as if you were risky, as if you had a lot of work to do. Truth be known, truth be told, none of that was actually true. The Eagle King, the big picture angelic help. And so you're learning a lesson of, I can be silent with no fear and not engage with this when I know the truth. If you know that the truth is the truth is the truth, you don't have to be in fear about someone that's like seeking revenge or this or that or gossiping. Yeah, kind of like the let them theory. So let's see with the tarot here what this reading is. All right, for the collective on you versus them. We're going to stick with you over here since we're already in your energy collective. For you versus them, what karmic lesson is the collective learning when it comes to this person? Why do we have the big picture, integrity, silence, no words, and chasing toxicity for the lesson that the collective is learning? Why do we have the big picture, integrity, silence, no words, chasing toxicity for the karmic lesson the collective is learning? What's the outcome here? Why the 5 of coins in reverse and the 6 of swords? Why the 5 of coins in reverse and the 6 of swords? What is the outcome for this? Is the karmic lesson the collective is learning. When you do not engage, you can move forward. The Chariot card. It's not coming out of balance for this energy, where in the past you already came out of a 5 of coins energy. And what this person doesn't see is that they were actually trying to drag you back into an energy you already came out of. 5 of coins in reverse. So you were maybe going through negativity or a karmic cycle already. 6 of swords over here, this is you moving forward. So you're in the energy of, actually, I already healed from that. Actually, none of that is true. Like, actually, factually and actually is the energy that you're in. 6 of swords. You've moved forward. This is somebody on a very deep subconscious level. They like to just control. But it's very sly, as like, you're not going to see it or know it. But this is somebody who... We're going to keep going. We'll do it when we get to theirs. What is the advice for the collective when it comes to learning this karmic lesson? You versus them for the collective. What's the advice for the collective when it comes to this karmic lesson of frozen silence? Choices. The 2 of Wands represents choices. We do have justice. So you are getting justice, divine order, and balance in this relationship, in this situation. 2 of Wands here. 4 of Swords. You can choose peace. 4 of Swords. And so you chose a healthier route. It almost is like what it seems like. But the 2 of Wands and the 4 of Swords, you're like, I'm not engaging in this. I'm not engaging in this like drama, this gossip, these things. They might be saying things about me that aren't true, plotting, planning, thinking these things, but I'm not engaged. I'm not even gonna give my energy to it. And that's your energy here. You learned the lesson of not giving something your energy. And, like the key thing here is like, it's true. It's true. Kind of like the sky is blue and someone's trying to argue with you. It's not that you're not trying to defend yourself. So that's not also what this is. This is not an avoidance of conflict. This is the kind of thing where it's so true that it's like someone trying to argue with you that the sky is, I won't say pink because sometimes it is pink, but say like, I don't know, the sky is like a zebra color, zebra print, It's like that, where it's just like, this is not worth it at all, So again, this is not an avoidance of conflict. I will say in this situation, there does not seem like there's any reason to defend yourself either. The sky is freaking blue, and I'm not arguing with you kind of thing. What do we have for you versus them? This person's karma when it comes to the collective. Why do we have revenge, party, risky, and triggers? Why do we have revenge, party, risky, and triggers for this person's karma when it comes to the collective? Why do we have revenge, risky, fun with friends, triggers? Why do we have the Ace of Swords for revenge, risky, fun with friends, and triggers for this person's karma when it comes to the collective? Why the Ace of Swords and the Hierophant for this person's karma when it comes to the collective? Why revenge, clubbing, risky? It's interesting that I said that this person has a holier-than-thou mindset, because we do have the Hierophant over here, Taurus energy. This also might be someone who's extremely traditional. They're very, because the Hierophant is also religion or tradition. So this is someone who's traditional. So this is someone who's like, you should sit like this, you know. This is someone who, not that they don't have fun, but let's dive deeper. I'm going to get clarifications. Why the Ace of Swords for this person's karma when it comes to the collective? Why the Ace of Swords? Why do we have revenge, risky, fun with friends, and triggers for the Ace of Swords for this person's karma? For you versus them, this person's karma, when it comes to the collective, why Ace of Swords for revenge, risky, having fun, and triggers? Why the Hierophant for revenge, party, and triggers? A lot of Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn here. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, a lot of Taurus. Why the Ten of Wands for revenge, party, risky, triggers? They ended up getting the Devil card themselves, not you. So interesting. A lot of Capricorn here. So you could have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This person could be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We do have earth signs and water signs. But this is someone, how do I word this? I've been singing that song for some of the past few readings. I just pretend that I'm in the dark. Where somebody tried to say that you were dark, they ended up getting karma. That's really what this was here. Where you weren't. The Devil card and then the Ten of Wands here. There's someone who ended up... Why the Ten of Wands and the Devil card? This is someone, I will say, who had to face their own shadow through this situation. Why the Ten of Wands and the Devil card for this person's karma? This person's karma when it comes to the collective. Why do we have the Ten of Wands and the Devil card for revenge, clubbing, risky, triggers? No, it could also be an Aries, Leo, Sag. Three of Swords. This could be, we have fire, water, we have earth signs. Ace of Swords, the Queen of Cups. This can be you. Why Ace of Swords with the Queen of Cups for the karma that this person is experiencing? Three of Wands here. You know, you may also be someone who's just simply a free spirit. All right, but what I do see here is there's someone who tried to call you out. And they ended up getting the karma. Devil card, Ten of Wands, and it could have been definitely an Aries, Leo, Sag. It could have also been a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or more than one person, actually, is what this seems like. Because we have gossip here. So there actually could have been more than one person involved. And for some of you, you need to hear anyone who is involved may have faced something to some degree. Anybody who was involved in this. Because the key thing is here is one person takes this to a group or to other people, but here's the key thing. And now I'm actually seeing it where there could be a group of people. What happens when it's not true? And then you gather your friends and your family and people. This one person was triggered by you, but the key thing here of why they got the karma that they did is because they started involving multiple people off of something not true. And this person learned a lesson of take your time, get all the facts before you make a decision or before you even think that something is true. So this could be someone that's like, yeah, the collective, they're risky. Like the collective is involved in this and this and in this. That's not true. The collective is not involved in this, this, and this. Like, and again, I'm getting, you're someone who's a free spirit, or maybe in the past, you know, you used to do different things, etc. That's not who you are. And so this person ended up getting the weight that they tried to throw upon you. For this person's karma, when it comes to the collective, they were trying to create a roadblock, an obstacle. Five of Swords. Why the Five of Swords for this person's karma when it comes to the collective? Yeah, that it was someone you know, a person here. It says the Lover's card. So this is the relationship that was trying to slow you down. But again, it's... I keep hearing the police. And by that, it's like this person was trying to police you. But off of something like that wasn't true. This person's dark, this person's doing this person's doing that. It was not true. And then when you're doing that, like that's, like that's defamation. Like it was not true. And then you're getting multiple people, and clearly the collective, like is spiritually protected here. So it's funny I say that. 7 of Wands, spiritually protected. That's the protection card. This could have also impacted your relationship with other people, where this person, they got a karmic lesson, I don't want to say of their life, but they did not expect to get karma from you. They thought they were in the right. They thought they were rightfully so of like, it's almost like this person had an energy of warning people about you. No, be careful with the collective though. They're involved in this, they do that. The key thing is it really wasn't true. So that's like, whoa, that's when this person digs their own hole. Evil eye, defamation, this, that. To the point where this person could have impacted relationships around you. Or for example, say people that don't know you. But that's still defamation, like these people don't even know you. How can they form a correct opinion about you? Their own opinion, not even correct, right? But their own opinion when this person is feeding them lies about you. Why does this person think that about the collective? Why does this person think the collective is clubbing, risky, and having fun? Why does this person think that the collective is clubbing, risky, and having fun? I don't want to laugh. Why does the collective, and you're going to see in a moment why I'm laughing. Why does this person think that the collective is clubbing, risky, and having fun? Why does this person think that the collective is clubbing, is risky, and having fun? This person is sad in themselves. This is someone who's very traditional. And you are free-spirited. I will say you're someone who's maybe very attractive as well. And somewhat like, your energy, physically, people could find you very attractive. Why the King of Cups and the Five of Cups? Why does this person think that the collective is clubbing, risky, and having fun? This person, I see. King of Cups, Five of Cups, the Hangman in reverse, the Eight of Cups. This person, okay, I got it. This is someone who feels that, like say if you have been, I almost want to say saved. If you're someone who's been saved, if you're someone who has done the healing, I'm hearing you should act like it. So this is someone who's very traditional. This is someone who they did find healing in their own life, and they found it through like maybe purity, right? Like we have, the person who's in a white dress here, where like they found it through purity, of like say, I don't know, getting married and living a good life and this and that, and you've actually done the healing. But I think the key thing is here is you're not traditional though, where you could say be a sober person and you don't fear going into the club, like you can be someone who say like is not promiscuous, but you also don't deny your sensuality, things like that. You're not hiding anything. You're also not doing anything. And that's more of what this reading is saying, actually. For the collective, why do we have the Nine of Wands and the Empress here? Why the Nine of Wands and the Empress for? Why does this person think the collective is clubbing, risky, and having fun? Why Nine of Wands, the Empress, and the Knight of Swords? For why does this person? And then the Fool card here. And the Emperor. So now we do have an Emperor and an Empress. Why the Fool card here? For why does this person think the collective is having fun? Three of Swords. For some of you, this could be a male-female dynamic. It doesn't have to be. Why the Empress card here? For why does this person? Why the Empress card? For why does this person think the collective is having fun, risky, and fun with friends? Now, for some of you, this could have actually been a partner of yours. Like, this could have been, say, someone that you dated. We have the Knight of Cups and then the Four of Wands over here. Why the Fool card and the Three of Swords for? And then the Hermit card, going within introspection. I'm going to go to another deck. We have the Sun card here. So, why Three of Swords, the Fool card, and the Hermit card for this person? So there it goes. There goes this person's energy here. Ten of Wands. This person is looking like a fool by the end of the reading. We have the Hermit card over here. This person ended up going within to learn a lesson. Ten of Wands. And that is their energy at the beginning of this reading, the Ten of Wands. You're someone who you don't appear as traditional. Yeah, of what someone would expect, you know. Say someone that's healed, someone that's been through a lot. You just don't show up dressed in all white, trying to be holier than thou. Now, what's the advice for the collective when it comes to this person? What is the advice to the collective when it comes to this person who was seeking revenge? What do we have for this person who is seeking revenge? The advice is to remain in your power. The Hierophant. You ended up being the Hierophant to this person. I accept guidance. Where this person, yeah, there's someone who's very traditional, but they were trying to like, no, you know, that person's not healed. They have work to do. If you're not like this, and if you don't talk like this, then you have some work to do. And that's just not you, you know, like, and you don't have, you know, or rather the work it is maybe that they thought you had to do, you actually have done it here. And so you both ended up learning different karmic lessons in this situation. And that's what this reading was about, is you both are learning different karmic lessons. Ace of Wands and then the Four of Wands here. This is a new beginning. This is also you and your power. And this is you celebrating, and there might even be an opportunity coming in for you. Now, what is the overall outcome when it comes to the collective dealing with this person and situation? You're going to release them and let them go. Ten of Wands, which they were showing up in the Ten of Wands more than once in this reading. And then the Ace of Pentacles. New opportunities for abundance flow to me effortlessly. So confirmation, you do have an opportunity, celebration, wealth on the way. And you are releasing this person here where, like, they were triggered by you. And the key thing is here is this involved multiple people. Okay, this is someone who told multiple people in some way, shape, or form that you like are not who you say you are, that you do this, that you do that. None of it was freaking true. And this person ended up in a karmic lesson because of it. All right. And then you over here, you're just moving forward. this was a lesson for you of remaining silent, where you actually were not the toxic one in this situation. Someone who tried putting you like in the forefront of like, look, this person is toxic. No, that was very toxic actually, and you ended up learning a lesson of not responding. I'm not responding to toxicity. I'm not chasing toxicity. I'm just doing me, and I'm going to attract from there. And I do see you attracting. All right. That's what I have for you. I do hope that it resonates in a positive way. I'm sending you all so much love and so many blessings to your day.